show starts in 1 minute. Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family.
Like 9 out of 10 film stars, Raquel Welch uses Lux Beauty Soap.
Well, no, I like to be a woman and a man to be a man, you know.
We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see. We hope you have a wonderful time.
Welcome, one and all, to what I can now officially call the second annual meme review of the Longhouse. I wanted to have this meme review originally next week because we have a couple of we have a guest that needed to reschedule. It would have been perfect next week because that would have been literally the 1 year mark, but we'll be satisfied with 1 week off. And I think this is a nice tradition, don't you, Luddic Path?
Yes, I do. It's good to be back on again, and yeah, it's really a milestone for us to have done 2 meme reviews, almost 1 year apart. I mean,
it really shows how our channel have grown, huh?
Yes, we're even building traditions here. We're not just revitalizing them. But it's good content. I think a lot of people have requested it. Surprisingly, I mean, I didn't think much of it last time we did it. It's just like a one-time throwaway thing. But I see in the chats we're getting requests for it all the time. So it seems like a bit of like this comfort food. You know, just enjoy, sit back and just look at some submissions, comment, and then that's kind of it. It's simple, easy, and enjoyable. So I'm down for it.
Yes, and Vingold in the chat says, has it really been almost a year? And yes, it has. It has been almost a year. But yes, it is a bit of comfort food. But now, for over a year, the kind people that are with us on the Matrix Element chat have been posting memes in the meme channel. And I have tried my best to meticulously go back in time and collect all of the memes that I am legally allowed to show you, and ones that I find funny and interesting, because some of them are obviously contextual, etc. And I've collected them all, and tonight we're going to look at them with our guest Birkarl, who joined us for the last meme review and is one of the prime shit posters of the meme channel.
I take pride in my great achievement in this field.
You've certainly contributed a lot, that is for sure. Now, before we get going, I am going to continue a tradition that I started with last week. So let me just get my music here. Let's bring that down a little bit, something like this. Because I want to thank everyone for tuning into this week's episode. And as you know, we stream every week live this show for your listening and viewing pleasure, all free of charge. But there are a few noble souls among us, men of exceptional character and heroic will, that have decided to offer up a whole $3 a month. With this offering, they are granted exclusive member status and privileges. Privileges such as members-only videos, community posts, emojis, name badges, etc., etc. The Giga Chads that are gracing our channel as members for now are Luddic Path, Nathan CJ Hood, Birkarl, Nord Anon, Mr. Cheerful, Bulba Inquisition, Vingol, Tom R, Nord Huger, History, Philosophy and Lore, I think the name is cut off, falling outside the normal moral constraints. Thank you, everyone. Now, I know a lot of those are actually a holdover of a gift that Nathan C.J. Hood gave last week, but at least you're getting the shout out this month. And if you want to continue supporting us, please do so. And if you who are listening to this are not a member and would like your name in this message, click that subscribe button down below and you'll be included in the next shout out. All right, that's enough. Enough of that gay banter. Real quick, Aranog and Harwicker says, my favorite meme was Walrus's line regarding an Uber ride. 5 stars, hidden immigrants. Oh yeah. Wait, that means were you at the event, or was that from the event review?
I think
that was the event review, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I did say that publicly, yeah. It did happen, so... Okay, so I'm going to bring up the memes here, and we're not gonna,
I think you
beat
were
around the
trying
bush.
to hide that fact, and Leo, brought the story up, and you were trying to say, "Oh no."
Okay, so let me bring up the only thing I found. We discussed this before the show. The only thing I found that could process all the file types was this like coding program that I have. So we're going to be using that to browse the memes today. They're not in chronological order. For some reason, it didn't save that way. I have no way of getting the chronological order. It's kind of weird the way Matrix handles that stuff. And the names are pretty much just, random stuff. So I'm just going to go down the list. And there's quite a lot. And I've already pruned it. So there's a lot of memes that didn't make it, unfortunately. First off, we have the 20,000-year-old Roopter. He erupts massive loads. Doesn't even know or care about other world-ending threats. He just fucking erupts. I'm gonna erupt. Extremely aesthetic right-side lava flow. He's part of nature, yet destroys it anyway. Its mere existence puts fear into Polynesians, Wyomingites, and Vesuvians. He only drinks his own magma. Was this 10,000 pictures of it in every geography enthusiast collection? He has never even heard of inactive volcanoes, and he shows the duality of nature merely by his existence. I like the Wojaks. I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of Wojaks. I like the ingenuity in the chud art, so to speak.
Yeah, I think there's been especially a huge explosion this year in the dialogue format of these Wojaks and the GigaChads.
Yeah.
Having dialogues on Twitter, especially.
Without further commentary, I'm just going to go ahead because we have a lot of memes.
I dropped out a little bit. I dropped out a little bit there, so I didn't get in any commentary on this.
Would you like to comment on the Roopter?
Yeah, the Roopter. I mean, it's very funny. The only problem is that like the Oomers and the Coomer, it's a little bit out of vogue now. I think
it's a bit of a stale meme, yes.
Yeah. So if this had come out like straight after this was popular, like the peak popularity, I would have enjoyed it more. But otherwise, top quality.
Enough. All right, next meme. Oh, this is a specific like Nordic meme. There are some of those in here. This one highlights the event where you get a message from the IRS, basically. There's no audio. That is very unfortunate. I'm going to have to do something about that.
I've seen this format used previously. He just sits and swears and he punches the wheel. I think that's the
meme.
That's the joke.
Yeah. We might have to reconfigure this, but the audio seems to be gone for this stuff. Yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to bring up the videos into something else. Just a moment here. Because a lot of the memes were from do you remember we had like a period where it was popular to post like Norse pagan American Norse pagan cringe in in the
Well, that's where Pagans of TikTok comes from originally.
I think we have a trend setter here.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to do this the hard way, but that's fine.
But I mean, I suggested to somebody in the chat that they should just make a channel and put all this kind of pagan cringe on one channel, but nobody did it, so that's why I made the series.
Are you ready?
My hammer, and I am not racist.
This is my hammer, and I am not racist.
This is my hammer, and I am not a racist.
This is my hammer, and I am not racist.
My hammer.
This is my hammer, and I am not a racist.
This is my hammer, and we stand against racism.
I think that's enough. We have a collection here of Thor's strongest soldiers declaring their stand on racism. Any comments?
I mean, American pagans are basically a red flag, right? I mean, there is a distinction there, I think, between like actual European pagans and the stuff that you're seeing here, because it has to be seen in context of, like, this is going sort of outside of the whole meme value of it, but the context of the United States is really being like a Christian country, and the majority Christian, fundamentalist country, really. And like paganism then just to kind of exists in a pocket where people who want to be like spiritual but not religious, and they want to sort of take it up the ass and have like a religion where that's either kind of indifferent to it, or they have some kind of loose interpretation of whatever they can call theology. So that's where you get all this kind of cringe from. But I mean, it is super funny. I just have no idea how this, supersized pagans. Yes. But I mean, there's something about TikTok as well that just encourages this type of behavior, and it's, I don't know how organic it is, to be honest. I've never really quite understood how kind of the flow of information and trends function there. So maybe I will learn something more in the coming months. That would enlighten me. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think we didn't get the whole message from what was it, Pagans of TikTok volume 12 that you put out. I think number 13 will really bring in the philosophical insight.
Well, the thing is, Pagans of TikTok did really well. There were people fighting in the comments all the time on those. Isn't that true?
Yeah, they are. I mean, of course, because I'm not that consistent with posting, and the YouTube algorithm punishes me. So that's. But there are people fighting in the comments, and it's just this sort of standard thing where they think it's like I'm trying to target them unfairly or something. It's really not that I have something against pagans in particular. It's just that we needed somebody to post these compilations, right?
It's a Catholic false flag operation. Oh god, that's good. Yeah, and here you have another one of the boomers, but the Sweeaboo. So it's it's a bit of a mashup meme. We're just gonna keep going. It's pretty much the same thing. Now this is a homegrown Australian meme, which we don't have any Australians to verify this, so I don't know why that was posted to begin with. I don't have the context for all of these. I think you posted this, Birkarl, if I remember correctly.
Did I?
I
think you did. I'm not asking you to have recollections of memes you posted months ago.
I probably don't have any. I mean, I just post it, I laugh, share it, and I move on. But
someone named Lady Mercia says, "Oh my god, that's funny." Hopefully she's referring to this. So if there's any Australians in the chat, let us know if this is funny.
Bruce, it's not just Crocodile Dundee, right? This is like an actual stereotype or something.
It's a stereotype, yes.
Yeah, these are his different moods, depending on the day. I guess.
Yeah, nah, I love me animal, mates. Yeah, etc. Next up, women playing with crystals versus men playing with crystals. I think this originated. I'm not sure if this was made by us or if this was like from elsewhere, because it might be related to that time I appeared on Nordhuger's channel talking about the foundation. Well, I was providing some commentary. It was Fjolnir who was hosting the settlement of Iceland.
So, what's the Viking ship reference here?
It is you see that stone in the top right? That is the sort of the crystal that was used by the Vikings to navigate.
Ah,
yeah. So that's the reference. So
Yeah,
it's
they
the women
use a crystal like that to refract the light. When you know the angle in which the block turns the light from the sun, for example, you can, project a much more accurate course. Very primitive sextant, basically.
Or as Connor Parrott says, Luddick doesn't know that Viking ships were powered by mystical crystals.
I'm just playing stupid, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for your help today. Here's some venison. Thanks, buddy. No, how are we supposed to tax this transaction? Says the IRS. A very simple Wojak. I was going to say rage comic. That's.
So,
I mean, that's essentially what they are these days.
Are there so many tax memes because there's like tax day today, or is there something else?
I as I said, I don't have the chronological order for this. This is just stuff that have been posted in. This is sans context, so
taxes are eternal.
That's true. I mean, we don't really need context for like a tax meme. Let me pull up the next video here. Here's some more pagan cringe, just in case you didn't have enough.
Sweet dreams.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna go on.
I could never get into like 12 seconds maximum was one of the Luddick's compilations. I mean,
now I'm forcing you to watch like 20, 30 seconds. So here you got the old Virgin versus Chad meme, but someone's made the dissident right versus the sensible center. What are your thoughts on this?
I think AA posted this one in his YouTube community tab.
He did, okay.
After he kind of launched the sensible center concept.
Oh yeah, I think I screen capped the video and posted it in the meme channel.
Oh, so that's why it's in the meme channel. I see.
Yeah, I think I did that.
Then everyone knows what this is, probably. If not, you can go watch that video.
Yeah, it has stuck so far. I mean, just as a retrospective, we're still sticking on this concept. So it's.
I mean, we dropped the NPR bit, but.
But yeah, that's because NPR isn't cool anymore.
Yeah. Here you have pictured British waitress 21 stabbed to death by French national 29 who screamed Allahu Akbar during a bloody knife rampage at Queensland Backpacker Hostel. Then you have some artist rendition of the Hon Hon Allahu Akbar mon chéri.
Yeah, I mean,
very good.
For those in these circles, you always know that like the media just uses kind of national, Swedish national, Norwegian national. Like anytime there's like some immigrant, some brown person who does something, if they have a citizenship, then that's what's being.
It's so strange because they would actually get away with it more if they just said man, right? If they just said man, right, by 29-year-old man, they could technically say that.
They always, in the local media, they always say, Helsinki man does X.
Yeah.
Just a standard,
Florida man,
Helsinki.
right?
Yeah, Florida man.
Was drawing his ass that detailed necessary? Board Brennan, I think you're looking at the wrong place in the picture. Oh, here's this one, which I posted on Twitter a couple of days ago. Oh wow, a fantasy RPG game with dozens of races. Select human white, male, class, knight with a longsword. Time to game.
I'm guilty of this.
I'm guilty of this as well. See, there's just a bunch of like degenerates in this chat tonight. Stop looking at his ass and feet. But yeah, human knight is can be quite, patrician taste. We have white people when the function got colored Excel spreadsheets masked as video games. You have Crusader Kings, Stellaris. Which one is this down here? It's Hearts of Iron, obviously Paradox.
I think it might be Age of Empires or something like that.
Is that Age of Empires? Yeah, maybe.
So I've seen this meme in motion format, and they're doing like this sort of Irish folk dance thing synchronized. Means that white people like this sort of thing, which is true, I guess. And I mean it's a little bit funnier with music.
We have to contain the autism somehow, so we invented Swedish video games. There's one more about this earlier, or later down here, which is very funny.
Yeah, but I like spreadsheets as well. But when you put a different UI on them, gets even more exciting,
I mean, I'm not at the level of the Germans, which is like, yes, my job at the factory is finally over. Time to go home and play Factory Simulator, right?
By the way, a special point about all those, all the Paradox games. Anyone who the true patricians like the extremes, meaning Crusader Kings and Stellaris, and the ones in between, especially Hearts of Iron 4, are for more plebeians.
Hearts of Iron 4 is like the entry drug Hearts of Iron 4 is the entry drug into right-wing politics. That's how it works.
It's into the entry drug into thigh highs.
Programming socks, we call them around here. All right. This is a Swedish man. I have no idea who this is. I have no idea who posted this.
He is not a Swedish man.
Is he Finnish? Okay.
He's Finnish. He is Pekka Siitoin, and he's just been subtitled here because it's a Swedish program, I think.
That's 90% of the Swedes are homosexuals, and they're way too humanistic. It's pretty good. This is one of Leo's posts, I think. After all, why not? Why shouldn't I post cringe? And I think he atted everyone in the channel or something when he said that. Or he said something to the effect of this is all of you guys. Very good. Now this one is deep. I'm not sure if we even have the time to go into this. But this, let's see. How does it feel when I do this? How does it feel when I don't have a girlfriend? A feel felt many times, the lack of a soft lap to lay on, a hand to hold, someone to love you. The feel when nostalgia, a sense of longing for something that is no longer reachable. What was once joyous now causes pain. When you're born early, too early to voyage to the stars, adventure into the unknown void and meet aliens. You're born too late to see civilization grow, to discover never before seen things, or to meet myths and legends.
I think
or when
the born early and born late things are a bit of a cope. There's always the difficulty of finding frontiers, even back in the day when there was a whole new world thing. Okay, when something's found for the first time, yes, there's a huge rush, but in general, it would be an absolutely massive leap. And even right now, there are frontiers out in the world, and it's much easier to actually go to those than go on a ship to the new world back then. So yeah. I just think a lot of these born too early to find a frontier for myself are cope.
Yes, those people would not be the ones who were doing it anyway, right? I mean,
yeah.
But there's a lot of dreamers out there.
I mean, you're not doing your posting on 4chan about this, right?
Yeah, the revealed preference is posting memes.
But the question is this format here, is this referencing something that that you have the background
know.
And
but this is the methods of escaping this. You can drink your problems away. You can sleep, the sweet embrace of sleep, if you can manage to fall asleep, of course. Video games replace this cruel world of feels and escape to a fantasy world. You can endure There is nothing you can do. You must simply endure. The feels will harden your mind. You can shower. Let the water purify your mind, but careful you do not reinforce your feels. You can eat. The pleasure of taste. We are in our most relaxed state when eating. You can share. Knowing someone else feels the same feels can take a weight off your back. You can transcend. You can take the feels and embrace them. You surpass their pain. Mystery. Are you sure you want this? There is no turning back, but the feels will go away. You can lift. You can lift those weights. They near as heavy of your feels, but it takes your mind off of them. Okay, whatever. Some of the most well-known and greatest art was made by those who felt.
So the question mark, the mystery, is like a suicide reference, I guess.
Maybe.
Or yeah.
Maybe. Probably. Okay, next up.
Thought of that. That just shows the mind that plays horror games too much.
Well, I don't know. What did you think it was?
I didn't think it was anything. I was just reading it.
I didn't think anything either. My mind didn't jump to suicide, though.
Yeah, mine neither. I'm sorry, Ludwig.
Too bad. Yeah. Everything is a Rorschach. Everything is every statement is a confession or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
The far right's love of farmers' markets plays into a larger fascist talking point that idealizes pastoral life and demonizes degenerate urban living. Then you just got Apu farming on his little farm here. That's what it's about. I like this one. I like the ones that are like people, use their. I know I'm gonna call it artistic talent, but you know what I'm saying, like where people do like very intricate, like chud drawings. I like that.
This is the birth of the gamer word.
The birth of the gamer word. This one was posted with the caption, Sargon considers the argument. And this is, I think, Arch Warhammer, who is also Norwegian. And as I think Sargon has said, and I agree with, is sort of like the most Norwegian-looking man ever.
Yeah, I think this was from some random video, way back when.
This is old. I remember seeing this video.
Yeah, and I think I just screen capped it at. I think that's my own. I named that file with the Arch Heil and Sargon something. But I think I screen capped and posted this in the meme channel. So
yeah, I like this one. Again, I like the ones where they edit like the Wojaks. This is Death Stranding. And he's got his little, the fetus that he carries. That's the little Soyjak. He's got its monster energy. I just included that. It's not very funny, but I just like the ingenuity of it.
Well, there is some kind of cozy culture around this, like where people just are sharing these edits with each other. That everybody has like a common reference to it, and that's why it's just kind of communitarian, I guess, in spirit. It's not all about the laughs always.
Somebody pointed out that Pepe is basically Hello Kitty for guys, and now I can't unsee it. That's pretty good. Here you have the Norman Rockwell photo that was remade, but with the caption, but I did have breakfast this morning.
I love this one. I mean, the Twitter moves so quickly, right? Because they have like both the Norman Rockwell meme. That's the freedom of speech photo, right? If you have an unpopular opinion, you post the white man, the blue collar white man standing up with his opinion, and that's kind of the essential American value. And then you had some other like shit libs making like we need to update Norman Rockwell, and then just put this stuff.
Is that like Joker Obama in the?
Yes. That's like 2008 era conservative, Republican talking points and propaganda stuff. I mean, I follow a channel on Twitter that's just called like 2008 era conservative memes, and they post stuff like that. I mean, it was retarded. I understand that they lost. It was just every talking point that Connie and the Cat at that point, or even the Schizo Right in 2008, it was just like this Alex Jones, Kenyan communist Muslim Obama stuff. I mean, it's funny, but it's not very helpful. I mean, for those who don't know
I do have a vague remembrance of that now that you mention it.
I mean, the breakfast meme is basically the idea that I think people under 85 IQ, they can't do hypothetical scenarios, conditional hypotheticals. So if you ask them if how they would feel if you didn't eat breakfast, then they can't answer you if they did. And
technically,
like
I think how you would feel. How would you feel last night if you didn't have breakfast or something, right? And the right answer, of course, is well, I would feel hungry, right?
Yeah, exactly. But they can't answer that.
The answer would be, well, I had breakfast, right? Yeah.
They can't imagine anything else.
If you want to use one that I read in one of Dutton's books, it's about Polish farmers and camels in Berlin, where they can agree to the existence of camels, but they cannot extrapolate into the potential of camels being in Berlin because they've never been to Berlin. Something like that. Like, if you've never been to Berlin, how can you tell that there's not camels in Berlin? That's their answer.
I see. I've heard the same thing. It wasn't exactly that question, but that they've asked farmers certain things and they just can't picture it, right? I don't know if they were all like that, but it's a stereotype.
Probably not. But it's the same. It's the same sort of like segment of the IQ population is the point. Yeah.
But I mean, I just think
there is a zoo in Berlin.
That's true, but does that zoo have camels?
I made the presumption.
Yeah,
but the question is also specifically, it's also specifically, are there camels on the streets of Berlin? I think. Oh, okay. Anyway, I want to get into
meta meme.
Again, I just think this meme is so great with the black woman, because it's like they're, it's such a fantastic way of making fun of these shit libs who want to update the idea of like, okay, you have this more typical white value of the freedom of speech, or like the man standing up to say something that's unpopular. And the question is like, what's Shaniqua going to say if she has to, going to use the freedom of speech and stand up? Like, she has nothing to say because she's an idiot, right? So, and this is all communicated perfectly in this meme. It's absolute, 10 out of 10 in my book.
This one, which is a classic, which I really love this one. It's the Skyrim edit of Varg. Especially the never should have come here, which is all that the bandits or whatever say in the game.
And a self-defense situation. Clearly, he's defending his castle.
Self-defense situation. You've manifested a self-defense situation.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what this was in reference to, but we might be able to get something out of this. You have the Venn diagram career choice analysis.
I think this is clipped out of some,
Tag yourself in the chat, boys.
I think I've seen the video where this is, but I didn't screen cap this.
This is where you belong, according to what you like. The overlap between drinking and people's skills is sales. The overlap between drinking and heartlessness is lawyer.
Where's the lie?
The origin, the overlap between heartless and OCD is human resources. OCD and math skills is accountant, and problem solving and people skills is management. Then you have like the engineer cluster and the lawyer cluster. Very good. World chess champion refuses to defend title because I don't particularly like chess. I think this is a bit out of context, but the idea is that the champion Magnus Carlson has sort of lost the love for the game to a certain extent.
Some Scandinavian honesty there, right? He doesn't try to masquerade as anything. I think that's the funny part, is the kind of bluntness to.
There it is, right?
To it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, this is a Giga Chat post.
This is posted. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you post this in the meme channel, and people react with a Giga Chat. That's the way it goes. Yeah, say based. Right. Speaking of based, I included this one because he's at it again. I saw last night or something a tweet with like a section of an interview between Cavill and some women and one guy, and they're asking him about his hobbies, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a big Warhammer 40k guy," and the women like snicker. And the one other guy on the panel is like, "Oh, nice. What do you play?" And he's like, "Custodes." And he's like, "Oh, my next army is a Necron." And then they have like an instant bonding moment. He's just ignoring the women. It's so strange how he consistently sticks on character on this stuff. Like he just doesn't care. He's just here to be an actor and play Warhammer. And that just adds on to all the memes about him being on the set of The Witcher.
Yeah, and he talks also, I think, answered in one of these interviews that he'd prefer a night in painting Warhammer models than going out to a bar.
Right. So there's a lot of he's literally me going on, I guess.
Yeah, he is like the embodiment of that "Yes, Chad" meme, right? Because like the first "Yes, Chad," it didn't even have a beard. It was just some guy in a headset saying like, "Yes, I'm just going to sit inside and game all day" or something. So,
yeah. Oh no, I have to find this woman and I don't know her name. Well, sir, if you describe what she looked like, I can send out some of our men, and I have to go and look at every single woman in this kingdom's feet. That's the text.
It never struck me how like Bollywood Cinderella is, right? It really sounds like the plot of an Indian movie.
Yeah, it does.
This is exactly the dialogue format I was talking about at the start. That has really blown up in the past year.
It has, yeah, it really has. I want all the illegal immigrants out of this country. Cool, when are you leaving? This is a bit of a subversion of another meme here, which is basically saying the same thing, right? The implication being that the theories of hidden mid-century German bases in the Arctic. Is it the Arctic or the Antarctic? Which is the one with the penguins?
Antarctic. Lake Vostok
right.
is
it's the Antarctic.
A subglacial lake under the ice sheet.
And of course it's Landshark, which is is Landshark still on Twitter?
Yeah, he's come back.
Oh, yes. Oh, I need to find him. And next up, I think we have another video, which I then suspect is pagan cringe. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it.
Norse pagan TikTok and witch talk on a serious
note.
No,
witch talk.
No, but really, let's talk about this. Our ancestors, specifically.
I hate this. I hate that. I hate the no, but really, let's talk about this. I hate that.
Is this FTM?
Maybe. That's a very thick mustache for an FTM.
Yes, they could never pull this off. This guy would fool me until he started talking.
Exactly. The voice made me question it, and then I started looking at the neck.
It's just like this type of person here, like you said. It's we really need to talk about the problem. Like they just exist in all of these kind of subcultures. I'm wondering how they end up there in the first place. Like they're more interested in like spraying this kind of sensitivity stuff into like, doesn't matter if they're into like baseball cards or if it's like Warhammer or some silly hobby they're into, and it's like, yeah, well, we need to make the space more inclusive for X, Y, and Z, and talk about the problematic history. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? I just don't understand.
California.
It, Yeah, probably. But again, like the process that these people are, how do you create these people? And
University.
why do they keep doing it?
Public schools. in America.
And maybe it
I
is
mean,
like they go to
can go on.
university and
Yeah.
it's just like a flex for them. You know, they have to go into these communities and explain that they're
Carl
ignorant or
Habermas
something.
says, that was the only Luddic Path content I refused to watch. Well, there's 3 minutes. We're not going to watch all this. It did remind me of another meme from like an artist. I see him on Twitter every now and then. There's a woman saying, I collect crystals now. I think it's cool. Oh yeah, that's rad. 2 days later, I regret to inform you that I cannot hang out because due to a string of Reddit posts, I have been drafted into the witch war to astral project myself at Allah. How's that going? Really bad. This is women falling down witch holes when they get to witch talk and then they...
Is this referencing that one Reddit post on some witch Reddit subreddit where, you know, some presumably girl talks about how she tried to astrally project herself at the law.
That might be it. I wasn't aware that it wasn't like an actual thing.
Yeah, it was an actual, you know, subreddit post on some, you know, our witches or something, and some woman tried to do the astral projection thing, and Allah basically BTFO'd her.
Allah won.
Kind of like the, you know, the racist Clockwork Elves, you know, these people, they can't win.
I fought
I read
Allah
that too,
and Allah won. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in spirit or
So
if
that's
it's in
why
real life,
Andrew
I think,
Tate. Yeah, I get it now. I've been converted.
Oh, but have you seen Tate's latest thing?
No.
He has been posting himself with anime girls.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah, but so does Bronze Age Pervert, so it's cool now. We like anime now.
No, but you know, Bronze Age Pervert does it in the.
I'm trusting Bronze Age Pervert's plan on the anime girls.
He's posting, you know, I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Oh, we can't say those words, but yeah, I understand it. He's posting, you know, on another level.
Yeah, I mean, Tate is just posting every day in various situations, whereas BAP is taking, you know, once a month Hentai Friday or something. Just to, you know, I mean, you can't take that man seriously on Twitter. I mean,
after a long and arduous operation, we have finally managed to dislodge the hand of the social democrat from another man's pocket. It's a boomer meme, but it checks out.
Yeah, this was a meme I actually found in Finnish, and I just, you know, edited it into English here. And I see I made a typo too. But anyway, yeah, I felt, you know, I've especially, you know, gotten a taste for the boomer meme in the recent times. I think there's you know, something wholesome here.
Yeah, I mean there is in the like return to, you know, 2004 politics.
Yeah, I showed it to my dad. He laughed, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's the bar, isn't it? All right. Here you have the two Chads. I want to buy these 5 acres of land. That would be $1 million. And you have 2 dogs. I peed here, so this territory is mine. Okay. It's like the funny dog, man. It's not that complicated. Here he's going through tough times. Gaslight yourself. Tell yourself that it's making you stronger and the universe is just testing you. Oh yeah, how to get through tough times.
This is a lot funnier because of the dog post there.
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, a lot of these, I like a lot of these compilations they make from these sort of WikiHow articles, because some of them are really kind of weird and kooky, trying to help people out of these really like esoteric scenarios that I'd never even thought about.
Here's another one of those like chud things, which like I can't really get over how much time people spend on some of this. This is a highly specific German chud Wojak meme, I guess.
This is from I think this is from Blepsama's Discord server.
That sounds Very correct. This is something that would originate from there.
They have a huge factory of, these Soyjack video
producers.
factory. Yeah.
So this is some like German festival or something?
No, it's just Germany in general.
Okay.
Wholesome Germany, but the music isn't.
Someone's saying Soytube Kids. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's blown up now actually, but I don't think we have any memes.
That's a really funny name. Oh man, I'm out of touch with the memes.
I'm out of touch.
Yeah. See, yeah.
I think this is a classic that we went through on the first meme review as well.
I think so too, but I think this is a different version of it. But for anyone who's joining us, here's a Longhouse meme classic. You have the autism geopolitical area of influence. Then you have the narcissism, which is United Kingdom, Ireland, France, Belgium, Netherlands, etc. Narcolepsy, Portugal, Spain, and Italy. Schizophrenia, which is pretty much all of Turkey, Bulgaria, etc. Sorry, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, and Croatia. And then there's the depression, which is the Eastern Bloc.
Still checks out.
Okay,
still checks out.
We should rank these. I say autism is the superpower, so it's number one,
obviously.
And then depression is based because it's just black-pilled. So that's not second. Schizophrenia, absolute awareness at all times, number three.
Yeah. Hang on a moment. What's going on here?
It's Montenegro.
This
they're
is
sleepy.
Montenegro, isn't it? So they're sleepy. Yeah.
Sleepy Balkans. And then narcolepsy, taking a good break is number four. And narcissists are just they're just awful. So they get last. That's my official ranking.
I'm calling out whoever posted this because the file name here, I think, tells me that this was lifted from Facebook. You can choose your mentor, young man. You can have the alpha male e-celeb. Success is exotic cars and hookers. You too can be alpha with a monthly subscription. Luddic Path, our resident Jordan Peterson impersonator, would you like to have a go at
it's been so long. I've
just Frog here.
Wash your balls.
I'm having a mental breakdown. And then versus the friendly guy you met at the pub. You're a good kid. Me and the lads see all the work you're putting in. We're proud of you. I think that girl fancies you. Go talk to her. I've been there before. My advice is to blah blah blah. Yep.
Well, yeah, it's kind of true actually. As long as you have a pub, I mean, you meet a lot of bullshitters at the pub as well. But
some
of
meet
these
all kinds of guys. But in a way, that's teaching you more than Tate or Peterson ever would, in a sense. I'm not saying it's entirely useless, but experience trumps learning at many points when it comes to interpersonal relationships and learning to spot people, right? Like types of people.
Yeah, and I mean, you really notice too with some of these like Zoomers and millennials who just like all of their experience, quote unquote, is like from these influencers, like this kind of like, what do you call them, personal development influencers like Tate or Peterson, or with like the Manosphere, like Roll Tomasi or something. It's all like this kind of web of this artificial online stuff that just it doesn't really map onto reality properly, and I've gotten very good at spotting it as well. Some people who are just live inside of like this e-development, YouTube short world where you should just probably ditch it. I think my final conclusion now is that you're better off without all of it almost. You should have just gone straight to the pub guy for some advice or figured it out yourself. Yeah.
I hate Tate. I hate Peterson. Not racist. I just don't like him.
Yeah, I think the most simple way to tell this difference is that it's basically only one or a few types of people that become e-celebs, whereas in the pub you'll just meet anyone, any kind of people, and that's more real in a sense.
Look, Trump says, "Aren't beers too expensive in Norway for you guys to have any pubs?" No, well, I was going to say unfortunately, but no, we persevere through the expensive beers.
You can get beer loans in Norway,
but
get 22% interest to get one can, one jug.
Oh, you're financing pizza, and now you're financing beer.
Yeah,
Nope.
it drives half the economy, unfortunately. I'm joking.
Free game a lot.
Well, the financing pizza is not a joke. That is.
Unfortunately, no, the financing pizza is not a joke. Payday loans for your pizza. And Habermas comments on my first impression. Yeah, I tried to go for the North FC, but I failed, so it turned it into like a weird accent. All right, next up. Does America have a national epic? Some examples. Ancient Greece, Iliad had Odyssey. Ancient Rome had the Aeneid. India has the Mahabharata. And then someone has put the Chris Chan documentary as the great American national epic. What do you guys think?
If I were to be as generous as possible, something like what's the Mormon hero, John Smith, his story could be the American epic.
Very good.
It might still be in the future. It's actually not a bad bet. Maybe
or
like
something like Johnny Appleseed, or what are these?
I really like Lewis and Clark's memoirs. I mean, they're not obviously fictional, so. But in a way, it's been like
neither is the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Fair enough. That's true. I mean, if you just sort of jazz it up a bit, you can make it epic. Here's coffee consumption in Europe, with Luxembourg, Finland, Sweden on top, with Norway as a close number 3 or 4, I guess. So this is Luxembourg drinking out of a huge cup of coffee, which contains.
This is a inflated number for Luxembourg because they count where the coffee is consumed. Most of those people who consume coffee in Luxembourg aren't from Luxembourg. They're just commute there. So I think there's other versions of this where Luxembourg isn't the top consumer, and it's just the Nordics.
The Nordics consuming a lot of coffee, though, is still true. So,
I mean, why do you think it is? Like, say aside from the the times of the year, the darkness and so on. Like,
the
productivity,
the sun being out for like 4 hours a day.
Yeah, that and maybe like this very like high middle class population in these countries who.
No, I've always been, I've always been very like physically affected by drinking too much coffee. Like I'll get the jitters, or get like, if I drink too much coffee too long, I'll get like people tell you like, oh, if I don't have my coffee I get headaches. They basically have like abstinence like withdrawal, right? So I get all of those very quickly. So I usually just drink like 1.5 cup of coffee a day at most, which is like really low compared to a lot of other people. And I see people at work have like, they have like 4 or 5 trips to the kitchen or the coffee machine like every day.
I drink them really slowly because I feel like they make my throat kind of dry, and I don't like the taste that well either. But I would probably be drinking more. But yeah, of course, I have some of the same symptoms. I kind of hate it, to be honest, especially now being a parent, where you get less sleep. I've really sort of, instead of doing it 5 days a week, and I get a break. Maybe on Saturday, Sunday, I also drink on Saturday and Sunday, and I really notice this kind of withdrawal symptoms very quickly if I don't have any coffee. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm probably contributing a lot to this. But there are people who are worse.
Yeah, coffee does work like a laxative, Bard.
Well, it's supposed to,
true.
right?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. I think it's only a bad thing.
Some
if you're
guy is
young,
saying
to
it
be honest.
sounds like a get out of work tactic. More coffee trips, more bathroom trips.
Yes, it's perfect that way. But I
Trellman says that's a myth. I'm not sure because I can very much feel it when that happens. Maybe it's just my body's used to like the routine.
I have anecdotal evidence.
I'm basing
Yeah.
my evidence on instinct and anecdotes, so I am now the Giga Chad.
There has to be a connection there. I refuse to believe that there's like no correlation.
Yeah, sure. Maybe it's not a laxative. I mean, but all I can say is that when I drink the coffee, I have to go to the bathroom. So, you know, I don't really care if it's a myth or not. That's the effect it has on my life. So I'm going to live according to that. Oh, I love this one. This one is great. So this guy's posts his face on 4chan here, or 8chan or something. He says, rate me 1 to 10. Girls say that I'm creepy. I'm also a virgin because of that. You look like what happens when you click randomize in the Oblivion character creation screen. And some guy has made a version down here where it looks like he's in Oblivion, and he's written, "It's you, the hero of Kamach. This is truly an honor."
Yeah, I muted myself, but I am actually laughing at this stuff.
Naturally,
it's sort of like when you yeah.
Oh, this is really good.
Yeah, but I always laugh at these kind of like random character creation phases when they show up there, and it's better if it's kind of unexpected as well. It's just like you're just scrolling, and then that shows up on your tab suddenly. Catches you off guard.
Everybody has gone through the most extreme options on every character creation menu, and then when you find a human being who's actually like that, it's quite fun.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't doubt that, you know, the coffee thing. I don't doubt that there's probably scientific evidence saying that there's no correlation. But my routine, right, usually when I have like a routine day would be, I get to work, before lunch I drink like about 1 liter of water, right? I probably haven't had any breakfast. I eat lunch, I have a cup of coffee, and then I have to go to the bathroom. Right?
Well,
I don't really care. And other times, you know, I'll let's say it's the weekend or I have a day off or something, right? I'll eat a bit of a later breakfast, so maybe I'll have it like 9, 10, right? And after that, I'll have a cup of coffee, and when I have that cup of coffee, it's like 5 minutes after I have to go to the bathroom. I don't really care what happens or why. I care what happens. I don't really care why it happens. I don't really care what is the cause of it. You know, it just happens to be that when I have my coffee, I have to go poo poo. That's how it works, and that's where my interest stops. So you can clip that soundbite, everyone.
I actually think that sounds plausible because, I mean, my coffee intake also increases my water intake. I have to drink water to kind of offset the kind of diuretic effects of it. So I'm probably drinking more fluids than I would otherwise when I have coffee, and maybe that's what's kind of driving it.
Yeah, I think that is scientifically proven, the dehydration from coffee. But any of the laxative parts.
This is what I'm saying. I don't care whether or not it is scientifically accurate that drinking coffee.
Believe in the science.
I don't care. When I do it, I have to go. That's where my interest in it stops. You know. Kill my inner liberal and stop going to the bathroom when I drink coffee. All right. Oh, here's a classic. Here's a classic bell curve meme. You don't see them that often anymore. I am spiritual because I like the aesthetic. Spirituality has nothing to do with aesthetic. It's fake spirituality. Beauty is divine because it is a reflection of the gods.
Let's have some Christian inclusivity here, and we could strike the S if we want to here.
I know. I think I saw in here like a version of this that had that removed.
Yeah.
But I didn't want like basically the same meme twice.
It works out.
So, yeah.
I've never. I don't think I've ever met the guy in the middle here. I understand what it's about. I just have not seen this debate happen.
It's the people who make fun of like TikTok witches because it's or girls who like crystals because it's basically like if you were in the atheism community back in the day, pretty much like if you were on like Reddit atheism stuff, this is a lot of that.
It's basically anyone who makes fun of you for saying an ugly building is ugly.
Yeah, that too.
What do you care, bro? It's cheaper.
Yeah, I mean that's. But again, would they say fake spirituality? I mean, do they believe in spirituality at all? Like, that's kind of where it's kind of falls apart.
Probably not. This is most likely a bit of a straw man. Let's keep going. Oh wow, there's a lot here. So there's me, the person reading this. And everything hunting him. There's porn, blue light. People who hate alpacas? What's that? Seed oils. Put on clothes. Women who want my chi. Vegans, tap water, dad bods, soy. You have to wear sunscreen and cubicle jobs.
It's very BAP, I think.
Very, very BAP.
Very soul bra.
Here you have Germans, and then you have the Mongolians on the right here. And the Germans are saying, "No, we have changed. We are so sorry. That was the biggest stain of our history. We were truly ashamed of our past. We now know that we must pay reparations and import 10 million Muslims each year to atone for our ancestors' sins." And then the Mongolian says, "Welcome to Ulaanbaatar, friend. Hope the staff at the Genghis Khan airport treated you well. Here is our reservation for the Genghis Khan hotel. But before we go, we should eat at the Genghis Khan restaurant. Don't forget to visit the awesome Genghis Khan statue and buy as much memorabilia of him as you can too."
No, I've not been to Mongolia, but I'm not so sure. I mean, do they actually have any like Genghis Khan?
The airport is Genghis Khan airport.
Oh, they do. Wow.
They have a 200-meter tall Genghis Khan equestrian statue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it actually
color me impressed.
So here, Berengian W with the nickname of this is Hard Rule, isn't it? Hardradi. Chocolate milk is perhaps one of the greatest Aryan inventions. It combines our best traits, lactose tolerance and conquest. Jesus.
This is the perfect tweet.
The perfect tweet. You can just shut down Twitter.
Else,
Oh, we have a duplicate.
Oh.
Maybe I can gaslight myself into being okay. Wait, this is just cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm not sure who posted that, but it was funny. Turns out lactose tolerance is actually the mark of esoteric racism. Well, I had for breakfast today, because I stumbled on someone asking, like, what did you eat for breakfast today on Twitter? I posted and I recounted that I had bread, cheese, and a large glass of milk. So I'm definitely
just
not
drank some milk
intolerant.
right now.
Yeah, very good. Patrick Crucius. Yeah, I guess no comment. Whenever someone asks me for citations, no, the top right. And you blame it on a mix of spiritual discernment, gut instinct, anecdotal experience, and then you have divine guidance, common sense, ancestral blood memory, or source, I made it up.
But coffee makes you shit. It has nothing to do with it.
No. My point isn't whether or not coffee makes me shit. My point is that every time I drink coffee, I shit. So I'm just going to live life like that's the thing that happens, right? Honey, please stop. This isn't the Matrix and Hyperborea doesn't exist. Liar, you're not even my wife. You're an undercover fed and I'm a proud incel. We have kids. Those are holograms. Once I find the portal to Hyperborea, we're done.
Oh, wow.
That is a very over-the-top Hyperborea posting meme.
Gigaschizo.png.
Yes. This is an old Harari picture.
Yeah, this is one I made, actually.
I think you made this.
Yeah. I never got any feedback, so I didn't move on with it.
I liked it. For some reason, I didn't comment on it when we... You have the Hard R Cafe.
Well, if you know, you know, right?
If you know, you know.
It's funny just to work that in when you can.
I hadn't read this one. All right, this is pretty good.
Oh no. I have a bad feeling about this. Some absolutely unholy desecration is about to take place. This poor hot dog. Never mind. Oh.
Nice to have a palate cleanser sometimes. That's why I included this. The next one is called Hyperborean Tune.mp4. He's awakening the blood memories of the horse.
Jamming.
Very good. Very good. All right, let's go back. Total tonal whiplash. I hate the Chthonic Mother. I hate the Chthonic Mother. We've got you surrounded. Come join the Longhouse and embrace the total egalitarianism. And
total grapist
by
victory.
Total grapist victory. I'm not sure if that's a watermark or if it's yeah.
I think it's one of those kind of like this meme was made by Gang Alcohol.
Oh yeah. A new Who's White map dropped above/below the line. And here you have European countries that are entirely above the USA-Canada border. I mean, there is a whole thing about, you know, Northern Germans versus Southern Germans, which makes me believe in this. You guys have any commentary?
Yeah, most of France is out, I guess.
It's basically just
out.
Normandy.
All of Italy is out.
There are some, mountain valleys in southern Germany, Austria, that are where populations live who really haven't changed for thousands and thousands of years.
Probably true, yeah.
I could move the line a little bit down.
Yeah, that's yeah. You would have to like draw a line. That's the thing though, because you have the Bavarians down here, which can sometimes act questionably. But then you get into the Alps, right? As you said, which is so you would have to draw like a weird squiggly line around like the Alps here, right? To include
yeah,
that.
and then you
But
get
I mean,
into
then you're getting into
Italy,
very
which is basically kind of Germanic again.
Yep. It's funny, but he's kind of He's almost got it. Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, or an Instagram model what she did in Dubai. I think we're just gonna leave it at if you know, you know. And move on. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Don't look it up, kids.
AP style book. We recommend avoiding the general and often dehumanizing the label, such as the poor, the mentally ill, the French, the disabled, the college educated. Instead, use wording such as people with mental illnesses, and use these descriptions only when clearly relevant.
People of French persuasion or something, is that what they would have us use?
The people who suffers from French nationality, yeah, something like that.
Again, what's driving these people? Like, why do they continue? Why do they keep fighting? You know,
I know, like, Lamau dislike of the French is kind of low hanging fruit, but I think honestly, yeah, as you said, I think this is unintentionally funny.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. With because the French are in there, but it's just this kind of. I mean, of course, there's so much content just like trying to dunk on woke people and stuff, but again, I keep reading it even in more like serious publications. These people keep getting space in media to write these
getting
well,
their
you should
ideas
stop, you should stop using this word or that word or because there's something that happened 300 years ago that makes this bad. Or please, I'm so tired of it. It's so tiresome, that meme.
Yeah.
It's funny because the French don't belong with it. They aren't all retarded.
I think there's one about them. There's one about them in here where they're like being brainwashed into thinking they're Latin when they're actually Germanic. This is that tomboy indoctrination meme.
Oh yeah, Franks and Gauls.
Yeah, behind the window. All right. Wake up at 1 a.m. in the freezer, gargle piss, uncomfortable, good. Listen to 5 self-improvement podcasts at once as you drag a tire to work. Fire ants in a diaper to keep you going. Ex-wife calls, says you can't visit the kids this weekend. Good, they'll only slow you down. Get to work, gargle more pee. Do work on Chinese keyboard. Don't you know Chinese? Well, you will. Broken glass for lunch. Boss comes in, says you're falling behind. He doesn't understand. He can't. He isn't a wolf in this world of sheep. Get hit by 3 cars on the way home while listening to audiobooks at 2 times speed. New record. Legs broken? Good. Pass out on kitchen floor. Roaches kissing you all over. They understand the grind. Set an alarm for 1 a.m. and drift into a coma while listening to ASMR. There's more of this guy. I don't remember his name. He's like a Navy
Jocko Willenick, I think is his name. It's a military author guy, but this is also a type of brand. Like we talked about the sort of terminally online people who just have their references from Tate and like Peterson, but I think like this, like Jocko and David Goggins, it's like a tier worse. Actually, this just has nothing to do with reality at all. It's just like this total kind of. It's a certain aesthetic to these people that they just try to be as extreme as possible and do the grind. Like nobody's like this in real life. There's just like. It's just a character that they play, and so it's almost hard to tell if they're, being made fun of or.
It's the most retarded form of stoicism possible.
Thank you, Vulpus Persona. I do my best to entertain. Sorry, did you want to say anything else, or should I go on?
Yeah, I think this is especially funny after, I think Jocko Willink for the first time did a PragerU video recently. So,
there is an edit of that in here. It's coming down here. Yeah. Let me get that queued up, actually. It's a classic YouTube poop, actually. Remember those days? This is who's this guy? This is like some Swedish television, like kids TV character, right?
Did they also make their own version of Sesame Street? Because that's what I look at.
Yeah,
this stuff,
I think maybe they did. My point is, he's saying it didn't have to be like this.
I think what was his name? Something Ube or something.
Yeah. Endless immigration, economic collapse, COVID tyranny, eco-tyranny, cultural decay and degeneracy. This is Levine. Increase age of retirement from 62 to 64 riots.
I mean, I commented on this in the chat. I mean, it's funny, but it's not true. They had huge protests.
They
with, like,
riot.
the
They
COVID
riot
stuff.
like
They had-
every time anything like this happens. Yeah.
I mean, they had more, COVID protests, I think, than anybody. Like this yellow jacket stuff with the French,
it's
and
not
they've had
true.
more protests with like immigration and kind of anti-gay marriage stuff than. I mean, you can call them like French pussies or whatever, but I think they've done more in terms of just rioting than any other country for these things.
But is it working though? That's the
yeah. That's the next question. I mean,
well, I don't know, but it's not relevant to the meme at all. It just isn't.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Well, this is Swedish, so this is from a Swedish meme, but it's basically Middle Earth times. So this is saying Saruman's plea to the orcs after the election. Time and demographics are on our side.
It do feel like that sometimes.
It do feel like that sometimes. Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good one. See, I've been lately. I've been listening to a lot of Dave Ramsey just in the background sometimes. So this was really funny for me. See, I run a large country and we're going to run out of money on June 1st. Which debts should I pay off first? Sell the carrier groups. I can't sell the carrier groups. Because the selling the car is always the first one, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, it's funny we can't do the voices, but if you know,
I can't do a
like,
good Dave Ramsey voice. I'm sorry, and I can't do a good Joe Biden voice. Oh, it's more Norse pagan stuff. All right. Just saw an imperial girl with an orc. It's over. Tamriel has fallen.
Is the Manchu Emperor Chud in here?
Never
mind.
Think so.
If it comes up,
Yeah, I don't think so. But you can send it to me if you want me to feature it. Oh, this one is really good. This is actually really good. This is the case, this is the case of the who killed the
troon,
let's say that.
There's some server, some Discord server somewhere where people are making these extremely elaborate like Chud Jack edits.
Sounds like this is like
these
Lep stuff,
historical things. Yeah. And I don't know who's doing it either. It would be
but it's
cool
really
to know.
good.
Yeah.
An autopsy report, gender male. Transgender people in Italy are cooking plastic bags to extract their estrogenic chemicals as their HRT pills run out. Hashtag pray for Italy.
I'm not even sure if it's true. Like, it's sounds far fetched, but I don't know what.
I mean, it's already over.
Of,
there's there's estrogen on your receipt, Sluttic. So
yeah, I don't keep them for that reason.
All right, here we have the Jocko.
The biggest problem with the receipts is the when you recycle the bottles, that receipt is also you need to touch that basically, and that's the one you can't avoid if you want to be a responsible recycling member of society.
Oh, that's really good.
Freedom, freedom, freedom. There are no shorts. There are no hats. I know. I joined the Navy. I had the honor of men in the Navy. A glorious job. I learned some lessons along the way. Don't do. In the toilet. In fact, every day, I do. In the bed in the morning. No excuses. In the military, the best troops were the ones that took shifts in their bed in the morning. If you follow these principles, I promise you, daily execution.
Yeah, there we go.
He just looks like a gorilla in a suit. I mean,
yeah, he looks like a parody. But it's always a problem, I think, for like guys that are really muscular to get good fitting suits. Like you have to have them tailored, and it's very expensive. But the alternative, if you're just going to buy some off the thrift store, you end up looking like a giant garbage can or something. They look absolutely horrible in suits. It's compounded by this sort of American thing where I think because Americans feel like they have to wear suits all the time, they end up getting these cheap like 80s padded shoulder suits that look like they stole their
American
dad's
suits are absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I know. It's totally terrible. Like I really respect that they want to be formal, but like they have to ditch these shoulder padded enormous suits.
Yeah, and they have these like balloon pants, like clown pants as well. It's very strange.
Yes, again, like you stole your dad's. If you're like a 5-year-old who stole your dad's suit.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Here's one that Birkarl just posted. Just so a girl with unbounded feet, millions must pass examination. The East has fallen. Society has collapsed. That's pretty nice. And here's another one.
Of an actual photo.
There's a lot of these. Just saw a Manchu girl on a date with a Mongol. The Middle Kingdom has fallen.
It's slightly wrong because, you know, we here didn't rule the Middle Kingdom, but anyway.
Yeah. We'll count it. We'll count it for
it works. It works. The King dynasty has fallen.
There's one that I found earlier. I think it was yesterday or something that I retweeted, which is the top 10 jobs that kids want these days. Number 1 is TikTok. Number 2 is Wojak artist. Number 3 is woke moralist. Number 4 is driver, capital D, by the way. 5, bureaucrat. 6, Airbnb squatter. 7, holy fool. 8, highwayman and train robber. And 9, crisis actor. That's what the Zoomers are gonna do.
I mean, I approve of 2, 4, 6, and 7. Those are based.
So it's okay. So basically, the Uncle Ted approach, and not the highwayman train robber route.
Okay. Well, I cannot endorse anything illegal.
Yeah, fair enough. See if I can I link this? No, I can't link this. Okay. So this is the next video.
Still not in, by the way.
Smells like you posted it, Birkarl.
Yeah, I think I posted this right when we were about to do the Finland stream.
Yeah.
I think the way there was some sort of Hungary sanctioning again, and the way Finland right away voted to sanction Hungary again right after they voted acquiesced. I actually don't think Sweden will get into NATO. I mean, there might be a problem there. The way Turkey and Hungary just won't let them in.
Yeah.
There's too much. The foreign policy has been too feminist for too long.
I mean, I only sort of late in my life understood or realized that the Turkish people have this tradition of this kind of ice cream game thing. I didn't believe it the first time somebody told me. They had to show me video.
It has to be more like a
actually believe
tourist trap thing now these days, right?
Well,
or is
it
like if you're a Turkish man and you want to buy an ice cream, do you have to go through this like song and dance?
Very good question, actually. I don't know if people in the comments have been there and can answer. If they know that, I just find it very peculiar. I mean, I don't know. There's been like 0 like Park Yo Me memes. That's kind of disappointing. But I saw like one of her, the memes that she has where she's like the North Korean defector girl who people think is like a sort of a CIA psyop, and she just has like a meme where she's like describing when you go to Turkey and they take your ice cream and they spin it around before you never get the ice cream.
Like they never give you the ice cream.
They never give you the ice cream. That was really funny.
Me, I promise not to talk about the pagan origin of Christmas this year. 3 drinks later. And he's very much a pagan Christmas enjoyer. This one is called modesty.png. The women wearing Subway t-shirts over outfits to avoid creepy stares. As warm weather hits New York, passengers say the temporary cover-up helps them feel safe.
This is the
no comments.
Progressive.
The lower caption. The lower caption right here.
Ah, yes. American women just discovered modesty. Yeah.
Yeah.
They realized that it's haram.
Progressives rediscover healthy sexual laws, healthy sexual mores.
Yeah. And act like they found Atlantis. That's an Oren McIntyre tweet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's appropriate here.
Circle of AI life. Humanity researches AI. Humanity perfects AI. AI perfects itself. AI enslaves humanity. Solar flare disables AI. Humanity worships sun god. Very nice. Oh, here, Doomsayer. Just a woman level 2. I like the woman level 2 walking around town with a Caridian man. It's over. Miss Stalin has fallen.
See you in Lumpy.
It's over. It is what it is. We're so back. I'm not sure if this was in like a context, but there it is. But how does this affect you personally?
Yeah, this has been going around a lot. I mean, there's people have been saying that this should be like the new flag for the Libertarian Party or something.
Yeah,
but it's it really puts a fine point on the way a lot of people think. And this like this Wojak guy here, like the Soyjak with the nose and the kind of smug look. I mean, it's very easy to use for a lot of situations.
Misgendering a pet can result in serious micro-subconscious distress. Pay attention to clues. Your pet will let you know his, her, their, their identity through things like body language, toy preferences, and reaction to gendered pet clothing. I mean, putting your pet in clothing is, I guess, the first...
Well, this is like the kind of...
Get some help.
Play a game like parody or not parody on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure if it's serious. I'm like, I think maybe 60% on parody on this, but
yeah, but go get it neutered.
More gay pagan Americans.
No, I think that was a Brit. That wasn't a Brit. It was from Birmingham.
Oh yeah, he's from Birmingham. Oh no, he's from Birmingham.
It's coming through the gateway through Britain.
Yeah, not all European pagans are safe.
Yeah.
Nope.
The races of Britain. Do we have time to go through all this? Let's try.
Start from the right.
From the right. The Anglo-Saxons. You have... Oh, this is the maturity stage of the Anglo-Saxon. Then he becomes Baza or Gaza or whatever it is. Any conditions are suitable, as long as access to the telly is provided along with alcohol. They are the proles described by Orwell, most staunchly patriotic of England out of all the races listed. Preaches of English inventions without knowing that all were devised by the Normans.
Come on, England.
Come on, England. Score some fucking goals.
And then you have the native Britain. Beady-eyed bugmen comparable in their servitude and docileness only to the Chinks. Present in Britain since the Bronze Age. Fit for little else other than manual labor and circus entertainment for the Norman. Is it supposed to look like Mr. Bean? Or Rowan Atkinson?
Yeah, Rowan Atkinson. That's the first thing that popped into my head as well.
Yeah.
But, it is a type.
I think I've seen this meme with the Top Gear trio, where Richard Hammond is the native Briton, and Carlson is the Anglo-Saxon, and May is the Norman.
And here you have the Celtic triumvirate, the second generation Mick. I apologize if all of this is slurs, by the way, to anyone listening. equal
They are,
IQ.
especially the one on the right for Scots.
Yeah, I'm thinking, anyone listening from YouTube, I have no idea if this is slurs or not. So deep apologies to whoever. What's the name of the guy who is the CEO of YouTube now? Something Indian. Equal to in IQ to his compatriot on the left. I assume that's Nagubu over there on the left. Schrodinger's car bomb, somehow responsible for 3/4 of England's most famous bands, marginally more civilized than the native Briton and Anglo-Saxon. The Welsh, animal sodomy rate comparable only to Canada. Retarded names, who, what, cool dragon flag. Porridge wog. National hobbies include copious heroin consumption. Oh, this is Scotland, yeah. And football hooliganism. In a perpetual state of seething over England. Paid by the Romans to fuck off. Made one good movie that one time about their heroin issues.
Yeah, that was Mick is Irish.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
And you have foreign overlords, which is the French Norman. You got the Giga Chad here. Conquered Britain 1,000 years ago and ruled over it ever since. Comparable to the patricians in Rome, surrounded by lesser barbaric races over which they preside. Jesus of Nazareth was the progenitor of their race. Every successful Briton in any field ever was one of them. He built Atlantis and has a colony on the moon. The Polak, diplomat from Poland sent to evaluate the state of the colony of Lesser Poland, Britain, to determine if it should be abandoned. Hated by the Anglo-Saxon and native Britain, about on par with the New Englishman. Monopoly on plumbing and construction industries. Only force left to keep the New Englishman in check. It's pretty good. And then you have the something cluster. You have the New Britain. Hated by Anglo-Saxons and native Britons. Projected majority in a few decades. Anglo-Saxons and native Britons left the EU to get rid of him, only to find out that he came from Pakistan instead. Prone to spontaneous combustion. Only raped 15 girls this year, as opposed to 26 last year. Assimilation coming along well. Then you have Rajit. Makes up 75% of all service sector jobs on the island. Strict work ethic as to not get punished by Adavai Ganeshwap, the 128 armored 4-penis snake-bore midget god. Poor dating prospects. This should be expanded because I think a lot of the ruling class these days are also of the same. I mean, they're probably from a different caste, literally. But
yeah.
And then you have Nugubu, primary representatives in any and all sporting events representing England. Anglo-Saxon sees him as a son when goals are scored.
I love him like my own son.
As the recent plastic butter knives require an ID to purchase, single-handedly decreases the average IQ of the country. Intense scholarly debate as to whether the native Britons or he were present on the Isles first. There you go. Then you have game developers then versus game developers now. I coded Roller Coaster Tycoon entirely in assembly so it can run on most machines. We made a shooter game that only takes up 97,280 bytes of space. Try out our new game. The first few levels are free shareware. Minimum requirements, as long as your computer can turn on. AAA game developers now. Sorry, we can't work on fixing the game. One of our employees keeps stealing breast milk from the female employees. Is that... Wait, I heard about that. That's like Blizzard or something. Because they got in a lawsuit
but,
a year back or something.
I heard it too, yeah.
I think all of these are actual quotes from, actual developers or,
Our game is 500 gigabytes. You don't need to play any other games, right? Also, there's a 50 gigabyte update patch. Optimization. Just get a better PC, bro. You need at least next gen to play without our game crashing. I read something about that. The latest game everyone is hating on, the Lord of the Rings game, the Gollum game, right? Which is apparently really bad in terms of technical stuff. I read somewhere that their system requirements are to run the game on the highest settings is to have a 480 Ti or something, which is like the best graphic card you can get. Basically, was the best graphic card you can get right now. And then you have to run it with DLSS, which is a technology that downscales the output and then like AI upscales it to your monitor, basically. So the game can literally not run at max settings with the best hardware, consumer hardware out there. Our single player game is always online because fuck you, that's why.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's no joke. With the early generations of programmers that came out of like mathematics PhDs and stuff, they are like not just one cut above, they're like fucking 10 notches above the average programmer now. And I'm not just saying that.
You still find them in it says so in the meme here. Like the indie games are unacceptable. You find them like in the indie games, and you still find them in the same, usually like in the same studios if they're still around. You can find them in the same studios that used to do it back then. Like you'll find those people in id still today, right? Because they've been with the company forever. For some reason, id has managed to remain engineer first, so to speak.
I think just that there's so many people going into programming, right? Because it's lucrative, and I mean, I even count myself among those. If I was born 20 years earlier, I would not have been a programmer, right? I mean, there's a lot of this, the frameworks and the ease of access to this space is probably one of the reasons that I've gone into it.
The abstraction levels have, exponentially grown vastly. I have in my free time learned more, bare metal coding just because I feel like I need the understanding, but I can literally have a career programming for the next 50 years without ever touching assembly, right? Or C++ for that matter, right?
Yeah,
which is insane, really.
there is the very low bar for getting a position in some kind of, I don't know, UI development or something.
Yeah, but the problem is then, right? It's like, okay, yeah, sure. The art might be shit, but I mean, the bad thing is that when the physics programmer doesn't really know how to program physics, that's when the bridges start collapsing, so to speak.
but I think especially the game development, is a magnet for these kinds of people who in programming who aren't actually interested in the work. They just
the pure autists,
they play the video game and they think this is what they want to do, but no,
they're actually in it for the physics simulation. This is from r/meth with the Rise and Grind. Rise and Grind gamers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this was mentioned here previously, but you have this subreddit that's called r/meth, and there's also another subreddit that's called r/meth without communism. Like, it's no joke because there's so many like communists on.
Well, I mean, that is just peak Reddit, though.
Yeah,
every subreddit has like the original subreddit, and then
Sigmarks,
the same subreddit but not lefty.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, it's big enough to. It's really bizarre. You should check that subreddit out. Like, meth without communism. It's pretty interesting.
This is probably some more Norse pagan stuff.
Oh, no.
We'll just skip that. I mean, it's a collection of name my band, right? Yeah, I'm a conservative, except for conserving the environment, natural resources, culture, native biodiversity, or traditional values. I'm just talking about conserving the GDP.
Yeah. We all know this, right?
We all know this.
This could be so many, like, if
this is beating a dead horse,
Shapiro, or if it's Charlie Kirk, or whatever.
You're gonna have to help me with this one, Birkarl, because you posted this, and this is
as you can see, the hat
highly specific.
This is about basically who Rurik of the famous Rurik kids who set out to the Rus. Who actually is. There is DNA evidence that his paternal haplogroup is N1C, which is most common in Finland, meaning there's theory that Rurik was a Finn and not a Swede from Roslagen. But so this is the point of the meme. He has the stereotypical Finn hat, and there on the right there's the Karelian hat, Pepe enslaving the Slavic girl, and then there's Rurik's Swedish servant
concubine.
girl here. Concubine, yes. My axe, please, Yngling Höra.
Yes. All right. Now there's some more videos. Let's share.
I think at that point the royal house of Sweden was also Yngling, so that's another level up there.
That's an implication. Yeah, I like this one. This one is really funny. When I'm asked my opinion on a theological topic,
I've got a meme here that I put in my stack and I've lost. But man, does it say it all. Can't find it now.
Literally me.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. Here's some more Sanna Marin simp. That's enough of that. That's all you're getting. She's no longer the...
What? Come on. Do
you want to see it all?
18 more seconds. Come on. Okay, never
she
mind.
Really does live for the cameras, doesn't she? I mean, I'll credit where credit is due, right?
I really don't get dudes who practice toxic masculinity claiming to be Norse pagan. Like, bitch. Thor literally cross-dressed to get his hammer back and then killed motherfuckers while he was cross-dressing.
Yeah, this is literally, I mean, we're getting at like, this is like atheists being like, things that are in the Bible aren't literally true, so everything is false. I mean, this is just the same thing, but in reverse.
Yeah, but at least this guy, he isn't, stopping to the camera and saying, "Hey, we need to have a conversation about this." You can see fair. That this is at least presented in sort of a more masculine way.
Yeah, but it's in that weird, like, I'm an ally. You know how like feminist men always ends up as implicating themselves, and I can't say the word, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, I have this guy in a lot of
being
my
a bit fancy
Pagans of TikTok compilations. His name is like Sasquatch something. It's unbelievable how many followers he has on TikTok. He is like the king of like faggy pagan stuff. Really, I can't think of. He's like everything that you can think of as bad. He is, except this sort of scholastic. Yeah, let's sit down and have a conversation about the problematic nature of X, Y, and Z. But like he's sort of like this kind of commie, bisexual, whatever. Like he likes Lizzo type women. He talks about that a lot. Like everything bad you can imagine about. He's mentally ill. He doesn't have a job. I mean, but he still has a job. Like these are the type of people who have almost millions of people watching them on TikTok. So I'm fully on board with the idea that it's like he's just being picked out by the Chinese as this kind of subversive element to destroy America from the inside.
No, he's picked out by the Catholics, like.
Yeah, of course.
The Orthodox Catholics in America are planting
Catholics, Chinese.
So Dissent.
It's all the same to
me. All right, the next one is really good. It is very long, and it's probably going to get, copyright struck. So I'm going to play a little bit of it. And if you want to see all of it, you have to join the Matrix Element channel. It's in the description down below. It's very simple to sign up. That's it. It's the entire song. Yeah. I can't play anymore.
The cheese tax, the cheese tax. You gotta pay the cheese tax every time you're cooking. When the cheese comes out, this puppy comes looking. The rules are the rules and the facts are the facts. And when the cheese drawer opens, you gotta pay the tax. The cheese tax, the cheese tax.
Very nice. Give the dog the cheese tax. It keeps going, but I think we're all getting it.
When you said in that.
It gets better. I've seen it. I
Gets into
looked
the
through it all.
serious business.
It is very nice.
When you said in that video that Ms. Leeds would not be your first choice, you were referring to her physical looks, correct?
I look at her, I hear what she says, whatever. You wouldn't be a choice of mine either.
I miss him. I
This
really
is
do.
why we love him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good memes that come out of this kind of Joe Rogan UFC reaction stuff that I think are even funnier, but they just put some text on top and
Yeah.
you have the reaction in the bottom.
Next one, I think, is something I enjoyed as well.
Another thing,
Oh
too,
yeah, this one is really good. Jesus Christ, this is good. We're gonna have to watch all of this. Sorry. If you want to know what it's like hanging out in the Matrix, this is how it is sometimes.
Another thing too regarding hobbies, I'm very much into Cyclopean masonry and antediluvian civilizations of yore, such as the large megalithic structures of the Andes.
Go watch the Longhouse Explains Hyperborea, by the way.
Found throughout Pumapunku, Sacsayhuaman, Tiwanaku, Pisac, Cusco, Gobekli Tepe, and so forth.
What?
These are the various antediluvian structural sites. They were constructed by late Pleistocene era civilizations. These enigmatic structures serve purposes that are beyond our current understanding because they derive from a different tech tree.
Oh, the Reddit text tree in there.
Can I teach you?
Well, let's take, for example, the Giza Plateau. So the Great Pyramids of Giza, something that we're all intimately familiar with. Dr. Joseph Davidovitz subjected the casing stones of the Giza pyramids to X-ray scattering spectroscopy analysis, and what he discovered were bubbles and fibrous carbon inclusions and a high natron concentration that effectively proved that they were made using a synthetic geopolymer tincture. So much information was derived from this X-ray scattering spectroscopy analysis that he was able to ascertain and reverse engineer the actual solution of natron salts to determine the exact ratio of geopolymer admixture to reproduce his own megalithic structures, which he then proceeded to do.
I can't. I can't. You're making me cry.
It's okay. I do that
Like-
to a lot of people.
Is it okay? It's so boring listening to that.
Boring? Oh, no. It's quite
No,
fascinating.
Dude, you're scaring the
I
host.
hate this.
Oh, what if I told
Look,
you?
I'm crying. Look, you made me
What if I-
cry.
What if I told you that within these structures could lie the secret to the genesis of humanity?
Also, by the way, I have the numbers up, and the minute I put that woman on, our view count went up by like 10 people. So I know who you guys are, right?
Cougar Patrol. You've been scouted. We know
Speaking
where
of-
you are.
Get outta here.
The white man is back, baby. The white man is back.
Yeah. But
another thing,
this is so good. The way he just keeps going. It's okay. I do that to a lot of people. All right.
Sitter här i väntan, spelar lite Dota och pushar på smeken med motståndet vi leker.
Mostly because it's just nostalgic. Yeah.
Oops.
It's very nostalgic. I'm not gonna play anymore because of copyright stuff. There's more Norse pagan cringe. Oh, let's do this one. Birkarl, do you have any information about the wooden moose that they try to burn down every year in Sweden?
Wooden moose?
Did it get burned down this year? Yeah, no, sorry.
You mean straw goat?
Yes, the straw goat. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
because that's what this is about. So I don't know if you know if they burnt it down this year, but let's have a look at this.
An enormous goat out of straw. They burn it down. It is completely illegal.
They put web cameras on. They sent the army around it. 1969, burnt down. 1970, burnt down.
Let the games begin.
Sadly, it seems they didn't burn it down this year.
Yeah, I think Leo talked about this on some previous stream, where he went through all the the whole chronology of all the countermeasures the city has developed to protect.
They doused it in some like flame retardant chemicals.
Yeah, it's completely made an environmental hazard just to make sure it doesn't burn down.
Sorry, that's not the right one. If we can't get more viewers on yodeling than we can on like the e-thought, I'm gonna be sad, by the way. The Korean yodeling, no less.
Auf und ab von lebenslos und vor Liebe mit. Keinen Kummer in der Brust und schon heimblöd. Auf und ab als Postgewehr, heiter wieder los. Wenn die Sozi kroscht wird, als mir das Leben mo.
His accent
His yodeling is really good.
Yeah, and his German isn't bad.
Yeah, yeah.
G-pop.
You see some horns in the chat for the yodeling. That's enough of that. Very nice. Very good.
Fucking hate them Normans, me. All fancy with their fucking horses. Some Norman hufter came to me village and said he was in charge now. Well, me and Gaswitch went fucking mental. Last that cunt with my meat cup, I told him to fuck off if he didn't like England. Says he's gonna tell the king on me. Fucking soft lad. And I'm not racist, right? I've got a fucking pick to me weekend five-a-side group. Just don't like him. You're gonna tell me I can't hate a man just because of where he comes from? That's what the fucking Vikings did. You're the real racist if you ask me. So fuck off back to Normandy if you don't like it. Simple as.
This is really good as well. The quality on a lot of these are very good. The things that are being shared in the meme channel.
I think this is from Dreadon on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's original. I'm just saying that the quality of the things that are being posted in the channel are good. Last video of the evening. Embracing my Nordic culture through mini braids and celebrating winter solstice. I saw a TikTok saying how in white America most of our heritage has been stripped away from us, leaving us to identify with political parties and sports teams, etc. What do you guys feel about this?
We made fun of this on Twitter, but this account is actually a sort of like pro-white /R girl.
Oh yeah,
account, right? So I don't want to counter signal too much, honestly. But of course, the what is it, like the braids and the beads? It is a little superficial. Maybe looking at the what do we say? Fake spirituality.
It's the best you can do, right?
Now. Sorry, I'm the midwit. This is fake fake spirituality. No, yeah.
It's that whole, LARP thing of like, well, LARP has to start somewhere, and it's very difficult. And we're going to be talking with Cows about this in a couple of weeks. How Americans can, if at all, reconnect with their roots, right? And where do you start?
I mean, it has to be possible, but I mean, it definitely is harder. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get some. Oh, here's another American meme, or it's an American-European divide. I remember the cutoff point was told to me that, the cutoff point between being an American and European is answering, is 4 hours a long drive? And I mean, I think when the, I mean, of course it's a meme, right? But the idea is that the landscapes change a lot, or have a lot more features in a shorter distance, right? Your sense of time is narrowed, right? So you're more in the moment. So 4 hours takes longer, right?
Well, it checks out for me, having been both places.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it gets fuzzy is when you start, going east from where I am. I mean, that's when it turns into the eternal
the other
birch
way around
forest
again. Yeah. Oh no, more Norse pagan stuff. Sanna Marin's Kaczynskian metaphysics and her Luddic ambitions 1 out of 32. I love those who are like, 1 out of 32. It's obviously just a joke, but
yeah.
Billions must be served. Me and who? Oh, this one is really good. This one is really good. Can I seduce Scandinavian girls? I will go for holy days. Pick is me. Thanks. It doesn't matter. You're in my folder now as French number 8.
The arc.
I don't know what it is, but like weird 4chan behavior is always funny. American right-wing news. Conservative group almost clashes with protesters at free speech rally. German right-wing news. 40 top German generals arrested at Masonic Lodge meeting by anti-terrorism special forces for planning to reinstate Hohenstaufen dynasty claimant into power. Nukes have been seized. This is probably in reference to the thwarted coup that actually took place almost a year ago, I guess. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, we didn't hear much from them afterward, but it was an interesting thing. It was just a lot of stuff that was happening at the same time, and it just blew over.
I think the end result of that was that it was literally some boomer dinner club, and they weren't actually very serious.
Oh, okay.
And I think a more accurate representation there is the German right wing is someone actually mouthing out the words in the anthem instead of basically just humming. That's
here's
the German right wing.
Here's the one, the meme I was talking about. In Sweden, people make games, but they're just maps. Nobody knows how to play them, and people just stare at them for hours and watch them change colors. I've been playing a lot of Crusader Kings lately.
Is that a Swedish game?
Yes, Paradox is a Swedish developer. A new NASA's UFO research team to brief the public on Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. ET. Wall Street Journal. And then someone responds with someone meeting an alien saying, "Hey, are you not shocked? Nah, man, I got a lot going on lately." Sometimes it's just add it to the pile, right? Just pull out another "it is what it is."
Yeah, I think the alien stuff has lost a bit of the magic. Morgoth did a video on that as well. Like, who gives a shit about aliens anymore? We're just not in that phase of the cycle where that seems exciting. That even matters.
I think there was a video with this one.
There is a video. This is referencing a sort of like a Viking what's it called, like a fair where they like recreate Viking society, and by accident a photographer was taking photos with a drone of their spear throwing competition, and by accident one of the contestants hit a drone. So
no, I think it was on
year,
purpose. I think it was
was
just,
it on purpose?
Yeah, I think it was
a bit
on purpose.
A bit of a dare, right? And he hit a drone.
I saw the video
of the
myself.
drone being hit by the spear, and allegedly now every year that's part of the show that they slay a dragon, right?
I mean, it was a very happy accident if that was an accident. He looked to be aiming directly at the drone.
Fair enough, yeah. Here's another version of the Norman Rockwell. I love the little guy.
GM.
Little frog. GM. Goes mad. Meme. We're getting to the end there. Oh, here's one I made, referencing the German coup thing, which is a version of the what's he called, the athlete guy that went to Nike and made this ad.
Michael Jordan, I think.
No, hang on,
Was it the guy who kneeled? The BLM kneeled.
Yeah.
He was some sort of backup quarterback.
Colin Kaepernick. He made an ad that was basically this, obviously with his face. So I made it with this German prince's face. This one Nordhuger made, I think, which is the Wanderer of the Sea Fog. Is that the English title? Watching over, I think that's the Harry Potter game, so it's Hogwarts in the background. Did he make a video on Harry Potter? If he did, go watch it on Nordhuger's channel. Oh, I like this one. This one's nice. Now we are the thing the Sojaks are pointing at. How does it feel to be the thing the Sojaks are pointing at?
Feels good. I don't
Nice.
mind, honestly. Yeah.
Look at them doing hacking something.
This one's also very good. I'm gonna hit a deer driving home. Nuclear war is bad. I can't hear your bullshit in the Finnish state-funded nuclear ball pit shelter. Do you guys seriously have that?
Well, yeah, this is, as
it's going to be a good time. Is that the implication?
No, no. It's just the tunnel that is the bunker is rented out by a company that has a children's play.
Right.
One of these what do you call them? This big play things in there. They rent it out, and it's while it's because it's technically just real estate that's not being used when not an accident, emergency situation. So might as well make it a big playland
as well. Millions must coal, and he's got the naughty list. Here it is. Yeah. The French being hooked up to the Latin indoctrination machine.
The Celtic Gaul has already hanging. So.
The other guy is just banging on.
Dramatic is still
the one-way mirror. Oh, I love it. And the last one is Friedrich Nietzsche's Beyond Based and Cringe. That's it. That's the meme review of 2023.
The thing that is most beyond based and cringe is the unironic GM.
The unironic GM, that's true. Wait, before we end off, I gotta this one. Let me just bring it up here. How can I'm going to have to share my screen all over again. Okay, just give me a moment. I'm having boomer issues. Yeah, this one.
Guys, Julius Evola, Revolt Against the Modern World. This is like the most read and most based book I have like literally ever read. Like this is like gold, you know, like this is like so much anti-feminist, anti-system, like anti-evil things, you know, like this book is like gold, and this is like never miss this book. Like Revolt Against the Modern World. Guys, Julius Evola.
There it is. It's the most based, the most red-pilled book ever.
Yeah, that's what most of our fans look like.
It's literally me.
This man is clearly one of a Hyperborean soul, as you can see from his base book recommendations.
You need that last meme. Just go on my Twitter feed. It's right there. And that concludes that, I think. We've gone through all the memes. I don't have any. There were a lot more that I couldn't include because, you know, YouTube guidelines prevent me from showing it to you. And I think we're already skirted the line quite a bit tonight. If you would like to, you know, contribute to next year's meme review, then in the description down below, there's the link to the Element Matrix channel. Just follow that, create an account, and you'll be added to the space where the meme channel and everything is, and you can hang out and chat with us. Bloody Path? Any socials?
Yeah, the usual. You know, you can follow me on Twitter if you like. Readpraxarchy.com. And you know, next episode coming up, we have Chaos, and yeah, one after that. If we're able to, we're gonna have. Oh no!
Next week we're having.
That is Björn Christian, right?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
so
next
next week we're gonna have Björn Christian here from the Gotham Publishing to talk about you know, publishing the Norwegian version of "You Will Not Replace Us" by René Camus, which will be very interesting. So we've been looking forward to having him on the show for quite a long time, and now we finally have an opportunity. So
yeah, and it's a little bit, you know, might be a bit specific for some of our international listeners, but I think it's worth a listen because the book itself is obviously quite international, and the response to it has been, well, in some ways the usual, but it's quite unprecedented in our country the way some of the reactions have been to that book.
To make it simpler, we're going to talk about the Great Replacement. The Great Replacement.
That's pretty much, that's literally it.
So tune in. That's it. It's not any more complicated.
Yeah. Next meme review when? Well, next meme review is next year around this time. So we'll do one meme review a year. This is the one you get. And then the next year I'll round up all the memes from now until then, and I'll pick out some good stuff. Birkarl, socials.
Twitter, although I don't post the best memes in there, I saved them for the Longhouse meme channel, as all of you should. Come join us.
Very good. Very good. All right. As for me, of course, links in the description lead you to my Twitter and Telegram if you're into that. I don't post there as much as I should. I should probably post there more. If you would like to subscribe to our channel, that would be great. If you enjoyed this meme review and you would like to be notified when we go live next week, remember to like, comment, do all that stuff. Any sort of engagement. Literally, you know, the only way we can stay afloat is getting viewers or memberships to make sort of the cost of doing this go round. I'm not in this to make money, but I would appreciate if it at least paid for itself. And the only way we can do that is either memberships or if you engage with the video itself, because YouTube really is just 100%, you know, you click on the thing, YouTube loves it. It's 100% algorithm pushing it. So please remember to do that. Please remember to subscribe if you're not. And Other than that, I guess we'll see you next week, hopefully to talk about that book and the topic of The Great Replacement. And until then, have a good weekend.